part 66 of Ocarina of Time 3D. And this part, we'll be going through the first part of the Spirit Temple. There's 4 parts. And this first part, we do get the dungeon map.
And man, I'm excited to be talking about this dungeon.
Yes, it's an awesome one.
It's my all-time favorite Zelda dungeon. I know it's really high.
Third. It's my third favorite Zelda dungeon.
So we're pretty pumped to get to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so long ago when we actually did talk about this dungeon with our first commentary series. Like, we kind of said, we didn't really know a lot of what we were doing at that time, but just getting to come back here, like, having a different, not perspective, but being a little bit better at what we do, or at least, I don't know, people think we are, but I think we are. I'm really excited, too, to go through this.
Me too. It's just, and it's held up. Like, as part of this, like, 2 guys playing Zelda, we've replayed a ton of Zelda games, and this is still held up as one of our all-time favorite. Like I said, my personal favorite.
Game and dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So we're pretty excited here once we get done talking to Nabaru.
we're trying not to say like what all we like about it because, well, one, we just did a dungeon ranking recently, and then 2, every time we do that, we say everything we love about it in the first part, and then we have nothing else to say about it the rest of the time. But I know
we're trying to space it out.
One concept I love right off the bat is just being able to go through this dungeon as a child and an adult.
Me too.
I just love that concept right there. Although as a child Link, we were kind of weak.
We really are, and it was a surprise to do it this late in the game.
Yeah.
Plus, we had kind of just done it at the bottom of the well,
and not that long concept ago. I think if they would have waited until now to use that concept, it would have been okay. But yeah, that bottom of the well just kind of took away from introducing. Well, they introduced it here,
bringing
it back here,
or even just spacing it out a little more because we did the well, then the Shadow Temple, then we came out here.
Yeah.
So just spacing it out a little.
I wish they would have just done the first time here. That's what I wish they would have done. But, minor complaints about a great well, actually, we're not complaining about this dungeon. We're complaining about bottom of the well. But I think one thing that's always appealed to us with this dungeon is, well, there's plenty of things. But it has that ancient Egyptian feel to it. I think just the whole look and visuals of the place. And then, obviously, in the 3D remake, everything just looked a little bit better, a little more detailed.
It does, man. I thought you were going to blow yourself up with that bomb.
Oh, I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing.
And then I thought that he was going to get you up against the wall when
this was actually an easy Zelda game to record. Like, there's a lot of other tough. Like, I'm trying to do Gan's Castle or Tower. Gan's Tower right now, and Link to the Past, and Ocarina of Time is a breeze. I can tell you that right now.
Well, it helps that we've played it so darn many times.
That is true. That is true.
One thing that I thought was interesting about this dungeon, and I get that it's like the last one before Ganon's Castle, I feel like they bring back a lot of enemies from previous dungeons. Like, I know we've kind of complained about that before in other dungeons, but this one actually brings back a great variety, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like we just fought the Stalfos. Later on, we'll be getting like Lizalfos, Wolfos. We'll be getting all kinds of enemies from previous games. So that was kind of it fit for being the last temple of the game.
You imagine how many times I practiced that boomerang throw behind the scenes. Like, dude, I did that numerous times. Like, I had my space down where I needed to stand, and then also where my head needed to be on that thing. Like, so there was a lot of practice that went into that. But
it's a good throw.
I think one thing, going back to the enemies that you were talking about, we like seeing new enemies, especially this late in the game. Now, Anubis right here,
he was new.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
I think so.
He was a new enemy. He's really one of the few we got in the dungeon. But I mean, at least we got one. But like I said, like a lot of times we seem to complain about them throwing like old enemies like into like a. Well, they're all the dungeons are new.
Oh yeah,
they're all new. But this one, I didn't mind them bringing all the enemies back for some reason.
Yeah, and I really like the Anubis.
I was getting there eventually.
You were getting there. I really actually like the Anubis just because they feel like something that fits like the Egyptian feel of the dungeon. Like it looked like an old Egyptian like statue or mummy or something like that. So I thought that the Anubis fit really well. I could do without wall masters ever in a Zelda.
Yeah. I think everybody hates those. One thing I love about this dungeon is, to me, it felt like a new area. Well, it is a new area.
It really is.
Now we could have went out to the desert area like earlier in the game.
Yeah.
But even if you did go there earlier, there wasn't a much that you could do.
No.
And so, like, really we just been here for the first time, like, doing a lot of stuff. And so the whole area, the whole desert felt new.
Yep.
And so, like, that kind of went along with this dungeon. Like, it made the dungeon, at least to me, feel more new because we had not seen it in our travels throughout the game.
Exactly. And going on along with that, just, like, the fact that we're inside, like, the Desert Colossus just feels really neat. And that'll really come into play because we'll actually step outside when we finish up the Child Link portion of the... And also, as an adult, we'll step outside as well. And we'll actually be, like, up on top of the Desert Colossus. And to me, and obviously I'll talk about that more when we get there, but it's a really cool moment when we get there.
Yes, it is. You know what? I had a point. I thought you were going to stop.
I don't like stopping.
You went just a little bit longer. I know. Okay, I know what I was going to say now. Like I was kind of talking. Like I said, I had it, but like to me, like when I'm playing through this dungeon, like I still have that whole outside feeling to me.
Yes.
Like yes, even though I'm inside, I can still imagine like the surrounding areas to the outside of me.
Yep.
And it kind of just puts me like in that place within this dungeon.
I mean, absolutely. And I think kind of going along with this place being inside just that giant statue is it's a very symmetrical dungeon. Like the two sides are very similar to each other.
That's not linear, but
not linear.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It's linear too.
Well, that's what I was actually getting at. That's one thing. That's one of the few things I actually don't like about this dungeon.
Yeah.
Is to me, it's too linear. Like,
it really
like
is.
you said, it's very symmetrical.
Yeah.
But like, you really can't get that lost in this dungeon. I feel like being so late in the game, maybe it should have been a little bit harder. And
that's something we kind of ran into with the Shadow Temple as well.
It's definitely very linear.
Just everything.
And the Water Temple too.
Yeah.
Water Temple, very linear right there. You can just basically run right there.
Run from point A to point B and you're good. Yeah. But then, I mean, it isn't a difficult dungeon. I agree with you 100% on that. To me, it's just...
You didn't get to explore it much because of that reason, like linearity. Like, I don't remember really ever exploring this place. It's like, oh, well, I can only go one way, bam, knock that out.
Exactly.
And then go through the other one. So, just one thing, just maybe a little more confusion. Like, now I say that, but if I was playing at the time, like, it would make me very upset if I got lost. So.
Yeah. Hey, it makes it easier to record when you don't have to backtrack too terribly
That
much.
is true. That is very true right here. But just, you see the sun face right there. Another concept I love is the whole light concept. Yeah, we kind of talked about, we like that this dungeon introduces that light concept because we didn't have a light temple, which we've always really wanted in. You know, for some reason, I think we might got one of the DS games. I'm not positive on the Light Temple. I think we might got one, but other than that, we've really never gotten a Light Temple, and I've always wanted one, so at least bring some light concepts into this dungeon.
And I'm glad that they use it as, like, sunlight instead of just, like, you know, like a light, you know, a torch or something like that. It's like, as you'll see...
It's not really light to me. That's fire.
Yeah,
you know, so...
And you'll see us, like, blow a hole in the wall here, and, like, this like beam of sunlight comes in, and it's a really cool visual, especially when combined with those, like, the sun symbol on the ground. And first of all, I mean, how long is it? We've never had to use bomb shoes.
Yeah, about time we had to use one. I think you actually had to use the bomb tube there too, because I don't think you could throw your bomb that high.
I don't think so either.
So, well, also, I was about ready to say, what would you do if you had bomb tubes right there? But then there's a treasure chest that actually gives them to you, so...
Yeah, it's a nice little hint that maybe you need to use these items.
Yes, and I love this room right here.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Once again, with the 3DS remake, you got a lot more detail.
Yep.
And just the visuals really pop. I mean, it popped in the first place in the original version, but just this whole room, seeing better visuals of it, just awesome.
And just having
with their zebra's pants on.
Like, just the giant statue looks amazing, and the fact that, like, this is kind of the central room that ties, like, the half that we go through as a child with the half we go to as an adult.
I do love that concept.
So we'll revisit this room and actually spend a lot more time in it as an adult.
Because we don't do any of the other, like, vice versa, do we? Like, we don't go through any other parts, like, you know, when we're an adult as a child, and vice versa, child as an...
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Like, this is the only room that we're in. It's both, and that is kind of a cool concept.
It really is. And how about, like, these
I was about to butcher that, so I'm glad you cut me off.
Well, I really like the spiked railings were a great addition to this, like, the staircase.
I agree.
But we're out of time for this part, so this will wrap up part 66 of Ocarina of Time 3D.